Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular municipal council meeting of the city of Westmount. Bienvenue aux séances ordinaires du Conseil municipal de la ville de Westmount. Lundi, le 19 septembre 2022, Monday, September 19th, 2022. I would just like to read a statement on behalf of council and the city. Comme beaucoup d'entre vous le savent, les funérailles de Sa Majesté la Reine Elizabeth II ont eu lieu aujourd'hui au Royaume-Uni. Westmount se joint à toutes les nations pour offrir ses condoléances à la famille royale. Many residents of our city gathered at the WAG last Saturday to watch the Westmount Battery fire the cannon in honor of the Queen. This demonstrates the close relationship that exists between our city and the Queen. Our community has many events and traditions that reflect this attachment. The visit to our city by Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip during their Canadian tour in 1959 is one of the most significant events in our city. On that occasion, the city presented her with a silver maple syrup jug, and Mayor J.C. Cushing pledged to provide the Queen with an annual supply of maple syrup, courtesy of the city of Westmount. This tradition has continued over time, and each year we send a bottle of maple syrup from the city of Westmount to the Queen, and we will continue to do so. This past June, we planted a red oak in the Queen Elizabeth Gardens to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Queen's Jubilee, the Queen's coronation. Many of us are saddened by the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Since her death was announced on September 8th, the city's flags have flown at half-mast to honor her memory. On behalf of council and the city of Westmount, I extend our sincere condolences to His Majesty King Charles III, the royal family, and the British people. We will never forget the moral strength of Queen Elizabeth II and the values of democracy, freedom she always embodied. Now I think we'll begin with council updates, and I'll start at the far end of the table. Councillor Kez.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that the gas leak, which started on Churchill, has been repaired. It's been restored. I think it was restored around 4 o'clock. I know there's roughly 378 residents who were inconvenienced, and our sincere apologies for that. But everything is restored now. And another note, I just want to encourage residents to go and look at our back to school safety tips, which can be found on our website. It's an important time of year, so please just take a look at our back to school safety tips on the website. Thank you.
Thank you. And you'll see our public security teams out with Councillor Kez, as well as the SPVM and other councillors over the coming weeks for some back to school safety campaigns.
Yeah, that will be held October 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Yeah, and in the meantime, our public security team has been out ticketing around schools when they do see something that is unsafe, and all of those, the signage all around schools has been thoughtfully put there for the safety of the children going in and out of the schools. Thank you, Councillor Kez. Any further updates? No? Councillor Aronson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just two quick things. We have a survey on the Engage Westmount website wherein we're asking the public to give us their commentary on the furniture that was used in public spaces near Dawson College, on Green Avenue, and on Sherbrooke this past summer. This feedback is really important for us to find out whether or not we met the mark. And so for those who are listening or watching tonight, if you haven't already completed the survey, we'd urge you to do so. And as soon as that information is tabulated, we'll undertake to integrate it into next year's plans. Again, the deadline, I believe, is tomorrow. So now would be the time to give us your survey results. Secondly, for those who have been paying close attention to tonight's agenda, you'll note that last session, we gave notice of motion that we'd be presenting a bylaw with respect to leaf blowers. We will still be presenting a notice of bylaw to deal with leaf blowers in our city, but I believe that we will be also adjusting the agenda tonight slightly to remove that discussion from tonight's agenda and move it to an upcoming meeting. The reason for this is technical. We just need to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row, and that once we do enact this bylaw, we've done so in a thoughtful and considerate way that covers all of the technical requirements for the equipment that we are proposing to govern. For those who are excited about this bylaw, we do apologize for the slight delay, but we'd rather do it right once than do it poorly more than once. And with that, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, the expectation is it'll be at the beginning of October council session, just to ensure that we have.
That's correct.
Some of the details.
We are moving forward as quickly as we can, but again, like we take this very seriously, and we want to do it right the first time. So I do thank council and the public for indulging us in making sure that we have the time to do this correctly. And that's all I've got for tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Gallery.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a very short announcement. Just as fall is upon us, the sports and rec activities will be phasing in starting next week and the week after. So you'll soon be seeing the buzz in the WRC and Victoria Hall. So excited to get all that going.
Perfect. Thank you, Councillor Bostock, Councillor Peart, Councillor Shammy, Councillor Roux.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So as always, I would have a lot to say, but I won't take up all your time. So I invite everyone to go on the library and special events website, community events, to see everything that is being offered. But there's a few things I would like to mention. For those of you that are worried that young kids only care about electronic devices, you should have seen the summer reading club closing party on Saturday. It was amazing to see all these little kids so excited about books and receiving a book. It was the best gift they could have had. So just a little editorial comment. Apart from that, we are looking to fill 2 positions on the Public Library Committee. So it's an appointment that is for a 3-year term, and successful candidates are expected to volunteer their time and expertise to help the committee with its mandate. So please submit a letter of interest by Monday, October 3rd, to the attention of Anne-Marie Lacombe, the Director of the Westmount Public Library and Community Events. And I would also like to mention, with the upcoming provincial election, that the Westmount Municipal Association is organizing a Meet the Candidates for Westmount St. Louis on Wednesday at Victoria Hall at 7 p.m. So Wednesday, September 21st. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor D'Amico.
Yes, I just wanted to advise all the taxpayers that the City of Montreal Evaluation Department has deposited their triennial rolls last week. This city's finance department will be issuing a communication shortly on this. Thank you.
Thank you. And just one other thing that I just wanted to mention, and several council members joined me on Saturday night, Councillor D'Amico, Councillor Roux, Councillor Shammy, Councillor Aronson as well, at the 100th anniversary of the Shar, which is an incredible milestone and a very, very significant part of our community. So congratulations to them as well. It was a beautiful event. So now we will move. I think we had one question submitted online. We don't have anyone in the room, so we'll go right to the one that was submitted earlier today, and then if there's any other questions submitted, we'll address those.
Yes, so we had a question from Kristen Major. Most Montreal boroughs have implemented laxer street parking rules before and during the pandemic. As more people keep working from home or choose to eliminate while keeping their cars, Westmount's parking restriction may be considered archaic. Specifically, overnight parking permits allowances and the 4-hour limit. In light of these ongoing changes to society, will the council review these bylaws to be less punishing towards the working class who has to use Westmount street parking?
Thank you very much for your question, and I will certainly refer it to the Traffic Advisory Committee that they can review, as they are looking at all things parking, which is never an easy one to solve. Does anyone from that committee want to comment on this?
We'll take a look and see what possibilities are, but we are a city with very limited parking, and so there are pros and cons to making changes. So we'll take a look at everything as we have our next meeting.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Kez.
Yeah, as Councillor Bostock mentioned, we have a long list We have a lot of parking related issues in our city, and it is something we will get to, but we need patience. There's many things to look at.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions online submitted? No, thank you. OK, on va commencer avec l'adoption de l'ordre du jour. Conseiller Chamy.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Je propose que l'ordre du jour de la séance ordinaire du Conseil du 19 septembre 2022 soit adopté.
Merci beaucoup. En appuyant, c'est Madame Conseiller Roux. All in favor? Carried. Again, Councillor Chamy, approbation du procès verbal.
Je propose, Madame la mairesse, que le procès verbal de la séance ordinaire du Conseil tenue le 6 septembre 2022 soit approuvé.
Merci. En appuyant, c'est Councillor Peart. All in favor? Carried. Item 6, again, 6.1, procès verbal du comité plénier. Councillor Chamy.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Le procès verbal de la rencontre du comité plénier du Conseil le 15 août 2022 est déposé et est disponible sur le site web de la Ville.
Thank you very much. Item number 7, resolution in support of the règlement RCA 21-17352, modifiant le règlement sur la circulation des camions et des véhicules utiles, RCA 21-17208, Côte-des-Neiges, Notre-Dame-de-Grâce. Councillor Bostock.
I move that the city of Westmount support the borough of Côte-des-Neiges, Notre-Dame-de-Grâce in the adoption of its bylaw RCA 21-17352 entitled Règlement modifiant le règlement sur la circulation des camions et des véhicules outils RCA 13-17208 in accordance with the policy of the Ministère des Transports du Québec.
Thank you very much. And this is the first of two motions pertaining to the trucking route that we will adopt tonight. And the neighboring boroughs have done the exact same thing for us when we established our trucking route. And so
it's a partnership.
It's a partnership and it's a coordination effort to make sure that the trucking routes make sense and
that they're safe
and work from borough to borough and from city to city. So all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, a seconder on that. And up here, say Madame Gallery. All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, again, Councillor Bostock, resolution for the règlement RCA 22-22004, modifiant le règlement sur la circulation des camions et des véhicules utiles, le Sud-Ouest.
I move that the city of Westmount support the borough of Le Sud-Ouest in the adoption of its bylaw RCA 22-22004 entitled Règlement modifiant le règlement de la circulation des camions et les véhicules outils RCA 13-22002 in accordance with the policy of the Ministère des Transports du Québec.
Thank you. A seconder on this will be Councillor Aronson. It's this same issue as the motion before. So all in favor? Carried. Item number 9, call for public tenders, rehabilitation of PA-62 Hydro Westmount, PUB 2022-043. Councillor Chamy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to authorize an expenditure in the amount of $347,172 even, including tax credits for the rehabilitation of PA 62 Hydro Westmount tender number PUB 2022-043, and to award to Transelec Common Inc. a contract for this purpose at its bid price for a maximum amount of $399,161.01, including taxes, the whole in conformity with the contractual documents of the call of tenders PUB 2022-043, and finally to allocate this expenditure in accordance with the financial information included in the decision-making file number 2022-1670.
Thank you very much. A seconder on this will be Councillor D'Amico. Any further comments?
Straightforward.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 10, call for public tenders, disposal of street sweeper residues, PUB 2022-045. Councillor Aronson.
Whereas tenders were publicly opened on August 26, 2022 for the disposal of street sweeper residues, tender number PUB 2022-0045, and the minutes prepared by the city clerk's office are submitted to this meeting. And whereas following the analysis of the open tenders, Recyclage Notre-Dame Inc. is the lowest conforming bidder as it appears from the report prepared by the purchasing manager, which is submitted to this meeting. I move to authorize the expenditure in the amount of $85,036.88, including tax credits, for the disposal of street sweeper residues, tender number PUB 2022-045. Moreover, to award to Recyclage Notre-Dame Inc. The contract for this purpose at its bid price for a maximum of $93,129.75, including taxes. The whole is in conformity with the contractual documents in the call for tenders PUB 2022-045. And finally, to allocate this expenditure in accordance with the financial information included in the decision-making file number 2022-1660.
Thank you, Councillor Aronson. A seconder on this will be Councillor Bostock. Any further comments?
It's pretty straightforward. We have residues from street sweeping. They need to be disposed of. And this is the lowest conforming bid.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Item number 11, call for public tenders program to clear lines of vegetation. Councillor Shammy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to authorize an expenditure in the amount of $71,440 even, including tax credits for the program to clear lines of vegetation, tender number PUB 2022-046, and to award to Abord et Culture du Beauce Inc. the contract for this purpose at its bid price for a maximum amount of $82,138.14, including taxes, the whole in conformity with the contractual documents of the call for tenders PUB 2022-046, and to allocate this expenditure in accordance with the financial information included in the decision-making file number 2022-1668.
Thank you. A seconder on this will be Councillor D'Amico. Any further comments? All right, clearing the lines. All in favor? Carried. The last item on the agenda is Councillor Peart, bylaw 1489, adoption of a first draft of a resolution 4216 Dorchester.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. I will dispense with the whereases. Oh, no, I should not.
They are very specific.
They are
to,
very specific to the project and so
to the
I-
project in itself. And
Yes.
while there may be few viewers,
Yes,
it'll
I will
then
go
be in
through
the
them.
record.
Yes, absolutely. Whereas the minutes of the regular meeting of the Planning Advisory Committee, PAC, held on January 25th of 2022 were tabled at the council sitting of February 7th of 2022, and the minutes of the special meeting of the PAC held on August 18th of 2022 were tabled at this sitting. Whereas the main role of the Planning Advisory Committee is to analyze and give an opinion on any request that must be submitted to it in accordance with the Land Use Planning and Development Act, CQLR, see Chapter A19.1, example SBAIP, minor exemptions, SCOPE, conditional uses, etc., and on any other application in matters of land use planning and development that is submitted to it by council. Whereas bylaw 1489 concerning specific construction, alteration, or occupancy proposals for an immovable SCOPE of the City of Westmount allows the municipal council, upon request, according to certain criteria and subject to the conditions it determines, to authorize a SCOPE on the territory of the City of Westmount. Whereas in order to be approved, all SCOPE applications must comply with the objectives of the City of Westmount Master Plan. I move that the above preamble be made an integral part of this resolution, that the City of Westmount adopt pursuant to bylaw 1489 entitled Bylaw Concerning Specific Construction, Alteration, or Occupancy Proposals for an immovable SCOPE of the City of Westmount, a first draft resolution to grant the application for authorization for a specific construction, alteration, or occupancy project for an immovable bearing the civic address 4216 Dorchester Boulevard on lot 4142956 of the Quebec Cadastre, hereinafter the immovable. That the first draft resolution thus adopted have the following effect on the immovable. A, grant a variance to bylaw 1303 of the City of Westmount entitled zoning bylaw by allowing, notwithstanding the imposed dimension of 35 feet 0 inches for the maximum height of a building appearing in the physical and spatial specifications grid for zone R6-35-01 of the zoning plan, a building of approximately 59 foot 0 inches in height. Grant a variance to bylaw number 1303 of the City of Westmount entitled zoning bylaw by allowing, notwithstanding the maximum height of 3 stories, authorized for a building appearing in the physical and spatial specifications grid for zone R6-35-01 of the zoning plan, a building of 5 stories in height. C, grant a variance to bylaw number 1303 of the City of Westmount entitled zoning bylaw by allowing, notwithstanding the maximum floor area ratio up to allowed in the physical and spatial specifications for zone R6-35-01 of the zoning plan, a floor area ratio of 2.31. D, grant a variance to bylaw 1303 of the City of Westmount entitled zoning bylaw by allowing, notwithstanding the maximum site ratio of 65% permitted in the physical and spatial specifications grid for zone R6-35-01 of the zoning plan, a site ratio of 66%. E, grant a variance to bylaw number 1303 of the City of Westmount entitled zoning bylaw by allowing, notwithstanding the prohibition on encroachment into the space between a street and the building line set out in subdivision 5.23.3, an underground parking area in the 12-foot 0-inch space between this street and the building line. Sorry. F, grant a variance to bylaw number 1303 of the City of Westmount entitled zoning bylaw by allowing, notwithstanding the 22-foot 0-inch length requirement for the maneuvering area between or in front of parking spaces required in section 5.5.3.2, a maneuvering area of 19 foot 3.5 inches to 21 foot 7.25 inch for parking spaces number 1 through 5. The whole, according to the plan submitted and in accordance with the information contained in the decision-making file number 2022-1672 and subject to the following conditions. 1, finalize an agreement between the applicant and the city prior to the issuance of a building permit for the community located on the immovable in order that such space be made available in perpetuity for public use and maintained by the current or future owners of the site at no cost to the city or the general community. That the present authorization given by the municipal council does not have the effect of exempting the applicant from having to obtain, if necessary, any other permit, certificate, authorization, or approval which could be required according to the law or the municipal bylaws for the completion of this project,
Thank you. A seconder on this will be Councillor Gallery. Any further comments? It's not every day that we have a PPC-moi application.
It is not. This has been in review for quite some time, allowing it to be improved of over time. We did have a preliminary public consultation that featured this file at 4216 Dorchester.
And just to interrupt there for anyone listening, that is the vacant lot close to the corner of Green that has been vacant for well over a decade at this point.
Indeed, yes.
So it is not changing an existing building. It is a vacant lot. An important part of this.
Yes, a vacant lot that has been vacant for quite some time, and on a sloping site to which the existing zoning regulations were quite constrained. And to that end, the applicant has filed this application here for the Scopey project, which, as I've read before, contains a series of requested variances, and these variances are detailed here. So yeah, that's it.
And then there will be publications on our websites and within the newspaper as the next steps in terms of public consultation, where the community will have a chance to see the project and voice any concerns or ask any questions.
They will see the project,
speak favorably, or however it may be that they speak.
They will have an opportunity to see the project in its revised state. It does differ significantly from the original version that was
which was presented by the developer to some residents, I believe.
Yes.
Councillor, are you finished with your commentary on this?
I am indeed.
Stay tuned for the public. Councillor Kez.
Yeah, this has been a project that was revised a few times. I remember the presentation, and no matter what anyone thinks of the look of the building or whatever we will think, the volume is reasonable. I think it felt. I think given that the max height is 5 stories, 59 feet, that the max site coverage is 66% still, and maximum floor area ratio of 2.31 is reasonable given the size of the lot. So
Yeah,
look
and so the
forward
public will see
And the
in
public will
detail
see in
what this
Yeah.
project looks like, and we'll have opportunities to share their feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Will Councillor Gallery second that? So all in favor? Carried, and that is the end of our agenda. There are no new items of business. Do we have any questions online?
No more questions.
Okay, parfait. Meeting is adjourned. We will see you in October, which I believe the October date is changed, right? Because of the election. Is it the 4th of October, perhaps, is the Tuesday? Because the election is, or is it on a, no. No, that's the October mid-month. So it's on Tuesday, the 4th. Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. This special council meeting to order, and it has just got one item on the agenda, and we realize we need to change our council day of October. So I move, I will have actually Councillor Shammy move to change the council meeting from the 3rd to the 4th. Put your
Madame la mairesse,
Maître
excusez-moi,
Ferland.
il faudrait adopter l'agenda.
Oh, I would like to adopt the agenda to, Councillor Shammy will adopt
the agenda.
tonight with
Perfect.
one item on it,
Okay. I move, Madam Mayor,
not that agenda.
that the agenda for the special meeting be adopted tonight.
Thank you. A seconder is Councillor Roux.
All those
All
in
in favor? Carried. Next item, Councillor Shammy.
I move, Madam Mayor, that we change our meeting from October 3rd to October 4th for the next for 2022.
Thank you. A seconder on that again is Councillor Roux. And this is to accommodate the provincial elections that when we adopted all these dates, we did not know for sure that it was on that day. So
All those in favor?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. And a question period. Do we have any questions from the audience?
No questions from the audience.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.